Yeah.
Do you see me?
Oh my God, I see you and I hear you. How about that?
Oh, yes, yes,
That's
yes,
what we wanted.
yes.
You did it. You
Screaming
did it.
yes. I don't use Zoom hardly ever. It's only been
No.
a couple of times. I think I'm kind of used to uh, Skype, but
Oh,
I don't Skype that often either.
so I'm like a
My,
Pepsi girl and you're like a Coca-Cola girl or something like that?
no, I'm a Pepsi girl, really.
Oh, then I must be the Coca-Cola girl. Now that we got that clear.
Oh my God, it takes forever to set this thing up. It's a trip.
Now,
It's
now
a
do I got
trip.
you frustrated?
Yes.
That's how we got to start.
Yes, I guess so. We've made it this far.
I'm so happy to see you.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You look incredible.
So what's up?
Look at
Thank
that
you.
smiling face.
I'm
Dang.
holding on as best I can. Trust me.
Are you?
I'm holding on like everybody else.
Okay. Anything in particular going on with you today?
Uh, nothing that needs to be shared with anyone.
That's fair. That's fair enough. Well, I thought that we should probably go through some of your big accomplishments for the young teenagers who may not know yet what you do and who you are.
So what
Who
the
would you?
youngins?
Yeah. Now, what would you do if I said, you tell me who Martha Wash is?
Singer, songwriter, entrepreneur,
Yeah.
producer, record label owner,
Uh-huh.
uh, sister.
Sister.
What else? Oh God,
Uh-huh.
person that doesn't seem to have enough time in the day.
Yeah, that's for sure. What about in your personal life? If I said, who's Martha Wash in her personal time? Who's that?
Oh God, I can't say that. Let's see.
Yes, you can.
No, I can't. A person that doesn't have enough time in the day. It seems like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have an older sister. We're the last two left. She's the oldest. I'm the youngest, and she lives with me. So I
Okay.
kind of take care of her in her situations and things. She's been having some health issues, so
I'm sorry. You're doing the big
that
sister thing.
that takes up my time. Yeah, she's little big sis. I'm big little sis. So
Okay.
yeah.
Sounds like I hear some love in that voice, though, for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Definitely. You know.
Well, that's important. That'll keep it all happening. So let's go back just a bit.
Okay.
Can we do Sylvester?
Okay. Briefly.
Okay, that's fine with me. Going into that audition, I just want to get a visual of that space and what was going on in Martha Wash's head.
It was a basement. It was a basement of a house.
Okay.
And that's really how it started. I'll give you a brief synopsis of that whole situation. I
Okay.
had seen Sylvester about 2 years previously at a Billy Preston concert. I was a huge fan of Billy Preston. I went to
Sure.
go see him at it was a Berkeley Community Theater. And come to find out, Sylvester was the opening act. I watched him, loved the show, could not figure out who this guy was, had never heard of him, but I enjoyed the show.
Uh-huh.
And kind of kept him in the back of my mind, saying,
Sure.
I really liked him. Fast forward a few years later, and I got a phone call from a friend of mine saying that there was auditions being held at this address, and maybe I'd want to check it out. And come to find out, the audition was for background singers for Sylvester.
Right.
I went in there and auditioned for him. At the time, there were two blonde, thin girls that I guess
Mm-hmm.
had just finished auditioning for him. And I guess he had them stay around for a couple of minutes and had me go on and audition. And
Yeah.
I did. And when I finished, he told them that they could leave. And then he started talking with me and asked me if I knew of anybody else that was large like me and who could sing background. And I said, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Come to find out, the organist, the guy that was playing the keyboards there,
Okay.
was a dear friend of mine who we had grown up together in church with. And I'm saying, what are you doing here? And he told me that he was playing for him, for a while. And it's this weirdest thing when I look back on it, the guy never finished playing in the group. And I don't know I have no idea what happened with that situation and everything, but he never did really finish playing with the group. And brought in Izora, and they talked or whatever. And we got together to go over to the other keyboard player's house in Marin County. We drove over there in a Volkswagen Beetle. It was Sylvester's. And we were going across the bridge, singing and harmonizing to what was being played on the radio, the songs on the radio and stuff.
I'm picturing this right now.
Huh?
I can picture this right
now. It was a hoot because you had to see us all up in that small ass car trying to get across the Golden Gate Bridge. The Bay Bridge. No, the Golden Gate Bridge. And so Sylvester was going into the studio in the next few days. He was laying down some tracks. And that's how we were rehearsing for him going into the studio. And it just kind of progressed on from there. And basically the rest is history.
Are these really great memories for you?
Yeah, funny, crazy. Yeah. I mean, it's really kind of how I got my professional being in this business is really kind of how I started. So yeah, there were fond memories, crazy memories, mad memories, all of those things. But it's basically how I started.
I love it. What a beautiful start.
Yeah.
I've been playing your music more now than before in my office at work, and all the guys are jamming at work the past couple of weeks. Not coming
really?
down. We're loving it so much. It's like
cool.
bringing it. What's that?
I said cool.
Oh, I know. We're having the best time. And then you met up with Izora and became so close with Izora. And Izora, I've heard, is passed now. Is that right?
Yes. It's 10 years. 10 years now. We met actually before singing with Sylvester. We were singing in a gospel group called the Now Singers, NOW, which stood for News of the World. And funny enough, growing up, our churches used to be right next door to each other. And we could hear each other's services going on sometimes when the windows were open. Yeah. And we also sang in community choirs. She sang in one choir and I sang in a different choir. So I had known her since, singing in the choirs and stuff. But I didn't really know her personally until we started singing in the gospel group.
Did you have the opportunity to have any type of closure with her before she passed?
I was at the service. I was at her service back in San Francisco. It was good to see her children and her sister and everything. I hadn't spoken to her in a couple of years previously before she passed. The last time I saw her, she came over to the house and we were laughing and talking and stuff. And then after that, she had come back to the States from Germany for whatever reason. And she was only here for a time. She went back to Germany, and then the last thing I heard, she had come back to California. But I didn't get a chance to speak with her before she passed.
What a special relationship.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at that partnership and relationship, you don't have very many like that. That's pretty unique, I would think.
Yeah. we had our ups and downs.
I'm sure you did.
But for the most part, her and my former manager, Doug Kipple, I seem to always be around older people. I don't know exactly what that was, but I wasn't around people my age per se. It was always 5 to 10 years older, that kind of thing. So they were the ones that were kind of schooling me about things that were happening in life and stuff, So yeah, sometimes I was just in the middle of all that madness. Learning.
But you're laughing about it now.
Yeah, because we went through a lot of different things.
Oh, I'm glad you got a smile on your face reflecting on this.
Yeah, I mean, it just sometimes just straight up craziness and foolishness and just, but when you think about it, I think after a period of time, you have to laugh and kind of shake your head and you say, what the hell? That kind of thing.
Right. I think I was counting when I was going through all my research with you, there's this incredible Rolling Stone article that came out that just broke it all down, and my mind is blown. Is it like 15 #1 hits you've had on the Billboard charts now or something like that?
Okay. I don't know.
Oh my God.
I don't keep track.
Well, yeah, but come
really
on.
Don't.
That's a lot.
No.
That's a lot.
Honestly, I really don't keep count. I don't keep track of it. And because the funny thing is, sometimes my manager now, he'll say, did you record this song? And I say, I got to hear it first, to figure out if I did record it. And he'll play it or send it to me or something. And I said, yeah, I did do that song. Okay, yeah, I remember that song. Most of the time, I forget. Really? Or I've forgotten. Seriously, I have forgotten that I have recorded a particular song until I hear the music or I hear my vocals, and then it kind of comes together. Yeah, seriously.
Did that happen with Sweat? Everybody Dance Now?
No.
No, that was different?
No, I knew that was me.
You knew it. Well, yeah, well, I see you going out on the festival stages in front of like tens of thousands of people and singing that everybody dancing. I'm thinking, how does she work up that sound to get that out like that? What's going through your mind when you're about to sing those words? It's hard.
Hard. You do have to realize that song is 30 years old now.
No way.
Seriously.
30 years old? It doesn't seem like it's slowed down at all. It's still out there, like it's brand new or something.
Honey, it's 30. It is 30 years old. Yep.
It's incredible. And you start your shows with that song sometimes, is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone knows it.
Sing it and get it over with.
Is that what it is? Well, you're on the stage working it back and forth and hitting all those notes and stuff. You look like you're having a good time, but maybe that's part of the job. I
am, but honey, that song is not a easy song to sing, even though it's only a few words and stuff.
Yeah.
Again, think 30 years later, okay?
Right. And it's different on the voice.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But it's cool. I mean, everybody still loves that song, which is cool. That's become a classic, Yeah. A lot of those other songs have become classics by now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I did that radio segment yesterday to promote our interview. that would be posted in a couple of days. And at the end of the interview, they played It's Raining Men. And I thought, it's still fresh. It's always fresh. It seems like from where I am. But you have this deep, impacted relationship with it that's probably much different. Do you have a relationship with it that you can share?
A relationship with it?
With the song? With your connection with No.
No. No.
That's fine. I love it.
No.
I love it.
That's a song. It's funny because of with Raining Men, Gonna Make You Sweat, those are at the periods of time now where you got the newer generation coming in and hearing these songs for the first time. Or like second generation, in fact, depending, so that's cool. That's cool. You have new people here who are hearing these songs for the first time, and then you have the ones that were around during the original time. Say, come on, baby, come on, let's do it. So I mean, that's the cool part. That's how music lives.
Right.
For people and for generations to come. And I think that's the great thing about music. A lot of music can really stand the test. Some don't stand the test of time, but for the most part, music really does stand the test of time.
I know somebody who does. I just recently watched you on the Late Show, Hanging On. I just recently watched the David Letterman appearance of you singing that song with Izora.
And the Weather Girls.
Oh God, yeah.
Incredible. You just
I hadn't seen that thing in years.
Yeah. Incredible. I love it. Let me see what I got here. What?
Did you see the last one that I did with David Letterman?
Yes, that was fantastic. Yes, with the men coming down from the ceiling.
It was like a cast of thousands,
Yeah.
The way they did that.
Do you have a good time?
Yeah, but I'm saying, what is going on? All these men just fall, and it's like I feel like I have to be careful where I'm stepping because I'm going to hit somebody, or, Like, what is going on?
Well, you're perched up there and you're looking good. I knew that.
Okay.
And all this going on around you.
Yeah, just twirling and falling and all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, it created a good performance, that's for sure. There's some more stuff. You're welcome. There's some more stuff that I had found while I was researching for you. And there's Whitney Houston bragging about you and saying how you're this voice, and RuPaul saying that it's like Martha Wash, Patti LaBelle, Aretha Franklin. How does it feel to have these kind of, what would you say, peers of yours just gushing about?
Because I know Martha Wash from years ago, and the woman can sing, and you can't mistake that voice.
Very nice. I mean,
Yeah.
It's nice to be appreciated for your music and your vocals and things like that. I just have always kind of done what I do. Yeah. I don't really trip too much on the outside part of things. And I guess that's the way I've always been. It's weird, but I just work, and I always kind of say whatever accolades I'm appreciative of, but I don't necessarily look for it or expect it. You know what I'm saying? You should see me, you should hear me, that kind of thing. I just keep moving forward, really.
Do you feel like you have some really deep internal drive, some really strong will that keeps you going from within and not from being inspired from without? or from the outside?
I've always just been a person that I just do what I do. It's nothing really just deep about it. You know, I've kind of always been like that. I'll sing. I'm not gonna say I'll sing whatever, but I sing because I do like to sing. I've always liked to sing. And if the work is good, then I'm happy. I'm happy about that.
Yeah. You recorded a song called "I'm Not Coming Down,"
Mm-hmm.
and that song became a big, big hit.
Yeah.
Is that one that you still enjoy performing live?
I do, because it's a little bit different for me, which is cool. It has kind of a country western flair to it, you know. So I like that. I
do too. Yeah.
you
So
know.
you have a little country music influence inside of you? Would you tell me about that?
Oh, I've liked some country music, and it's not the first time I did something with a flavor like that. The first 2 Tons of Fun album. See, the first, yeah. We did a song called "I've Got to Make It on My Own," written by Eric Robinson, who wrote all the songs basically for 2 Tons of Fun. And he wrote a song called "I've Got to Make It on My Own," and it does have a country flair to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was raised on traditional country music, and when I became an adult, I learned about other types of music, and so I'm so eclectic myself.
Yeah. Oh God, when I was younger, well, the stations back in San Francisco, a lot of them played all kinds of music at one time. You know, it didn't matter. You heard it, you liked it, or you didn't. But I think that's what helped me be able to appreciate all kinds of music. Who was that I used to like? The Oak Ridge Boys, because I used to like Elvira.
Right.
I liked Charlie Pride. I liked, oh God, well, Kenny Rogers naturally, but it was another one with silver hair, and I can't think of his name right now. I liked a lot of those, I'll say, older country music artists. I've always liked Dolly.
Yeah.
But growing up, I liked those older country music artists.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I love it.
Yeah.
Looking at my questions here, make sure I'm on track. Is it difficult to maintain strong friendships in the entertainment industry?
I want to ask how strong. You know, you meet a lot of people in this business. Some are acquaintances, some are, you know, business acquaintances and things like that. Then you meet some that you have a lot more maybe in common with, that aren't still strong friends, and then you have your very, very close friends. Yeah, I think that's in any kind of profession.
Right. And you've been all over the world multiple times, am I right?
Yes.
You have friends all over the world?
I'm not gonna say I have friends all over the world. I know some people in different countries, and I won't necessarily say we're close, because a lot of times it will be business associates and things like that, you know.
Sure.
But I do know a few people around the world. Yeah.
That's a pretty cool thing. Making those connections.
Well, the way this world is, you got to try and make connections everywhere you can, you know, because it keeps changing. You know, the world keeps changing. People keep changing. People that you think are in one profession and you haven't heard from for a while, you find out they're in a totally different profession now. You know, when you reach out to them, say, "Are you still doing this?" And they said, "No, I jumped out. I'm in something totally different now. So, I mean, that's part of how the world works.
Absolutely. I saw you, I think 2 years ago, maybe 3, at the Sacramento Pride Festival.
Mm-hmm.
When you go on tour and you arrive in another city every time, you know, what is your routine? What do you lean on for comfort and to find some sort of peace in your mind when you're on this chaotic travel itinerary all the time?
I just try to chill as much as possible and rest as much as possible, depending on if I'm doing um, back-to-back shows,
Mm-hmm.
you know, one-nighters, that kind of thing. That can be hard. But I usually try to go in, depending on where I'm going, a day ahead. If that's not possible, then I psych myself up to
Yeah,
start walking briskly through all of those airports and things to get to the next destination.
yeah. My gosh, sounds so hectic.
It can be, but I mean, look, it's part of the job. I sometimes I'm up for a couple of days straight, 48 hours before I leave to do shows, so by the time I get to that first destination, all I want to do is kind of sleep if I can, get some rest, try and catch up on it if I can, and if not, say, okay,
Here we go.
Here we go. Let's do this. Put that energy out there, and then after the show is over, you can kind of collapse, if you want.
Yeah. And you're living in New York now,
Yes.
the complete opposite side of the country you were born in.
Yes.
And why have you chosen New York?
I didn't want to live in Los Angeles. New York was always the home base when we were singing with Sylvester. It was always a home base for shows that we would do on the East Coast. So it just kind of made sense to be based in New York. Also, at the time, we were going through changes with It's Raining Men, as far as the Weather Girls were concerned, and signing with the new label. So what we did was move to New York, change the name from 2 Tons of Fun to the Weather Girls, and signed with Columbia Records.
And you've been there since?
Yes.
Good for you.
35 years, 36 years. Yeah.
It's amazing. And what are you working on now, if anything at all?
Well, the new album, Love and Conflict, it came out in January of this year.
Right.
And we were going to go out and promote it, especially for South by Southwest. We were going to debut it there. And then everything happened.
Yeah.
So we have not been out to promote the album.
Well, what would you say about the album if you could go out and promote it?
It's a great album. It's little blues, little rock, and a little psychedelic 60s influence. And it's just songs that you can think of. The music is kind of in the past, but the lyrics are fitting for this time in our lives.
I like that combination.
Yeah.
Do you have any type of plan about what you're going to do when you're able to go back out on the road?
Hopefully go out and still try and promote this album.
Yeah.
People can find it on the music platforms. But that's been the main thing, was really trying to see about promoting the album. And I really would rather do it live as opposed to doing it over the internet,
Is there one specific track that stands out in your mind right now that you could tell me about?
Ooh, let's see. Oh, there's a there's a few.
Yeah.
Glamour Flows is a song about you as a person finding your style. We all want to be trendy and just on top of our game as far as styles and trends and all this other kind of stuff. But my feeling is your glamour comes from the inside and it shows out. The things that you see, you know, you can always see yourself walking down the street. Somebody has on the same kind of outfit that you have on, you know. But if you find your own kind of style that works for you, and sometimes those styles aren't considered glamorous, but everybody has to find their own sense of style because that's what makes the world go round. And when you can find your own thing that makes you happy and makes you feel good, then that's your glamour.
Could you please, I'm dying to know, what is Martha Wash's glamour? I would love to know. Give me something. Give me something.
Sequins and gowns and things like that. No, I'm kidding. I think a well-designed outfit, it could be a dress, it could be a pantsuit, but something that's well designed and tailored for me. It doesn't have to necessarily be sequins and you know, things like that.
Yeah.
But on the personal side, I'm really kind of conservative.
Yeah.
I'm really kind of conservative in my style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, comfort. You spend so much time being dressed up and having stage clothes on. I'm sure in your own time, you're probably just looking for balance, maybe.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's the balance.
Yeah. Do you ever see your parents in you? Are there any specific characteristics where you think, oh my gosh, that was my mother, or oh my God, that was my father?
Oh, Lord.
What did you get from your parents?
I think from my father, I got a work ethic. A work ethic. Even though he was self-employed, he was always there, showed up for his appointments and things like that, for his jobs, and was just always working, just busy doing busy doing something, because he had to work down in the basement. He had all his work tools and equipment and all this other kind of stuff, and he'd just be down there just working on whatever, you know.
What kind
Didn't
of work
know
did he
exactly
do?
what. Janitorial.
Okay.
He had his own janitorial service.
Handyman.
And for, oh God, decades.
Yeah.
Decades. Yeah. Yeah. From my mother, I'm not quite sure what I got from her. I don't cook. Not to say that I can't cook, but I don't cook. She was a great cook. She really was. All of her sisters were great cooks. I think I got from my mother my love to sing. Now, she loved to sing, and that's really kind of how I got started. My godmother told my mother that I was singing in the back seat of her car one day, and my mother, who loved to sing, really encouraged me because she loved to sing. And she had told me many years later that she had wanted to become a blues singer. She said she would have become a blues singer if she hadn't found God and her religious beliefs and all of that. So yeah,
So did you sing the blues?
I got the singing part from her.
Could you ask for more than that?
No.
Did she sing the blues around the house?
Oh no.
What'd she sing?
No, gospel. That was the only music I was allowed to listen to in my house. The only thing. So that's how my gospel music came to be, because that was all that I heard growing up. So
Yeah.
that's the foundation for my music, is gospel.
Is there a moment where you can remember realizing that you could sing? Was it your mother or your godmother who informed you that you had the gift?
Well, no, not in particular. I sang in church as a little girl. They put me on a chair and let me sing.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, but there was no oh, I can sing. No, it wasn't none of that.
No. No doves flying around or anything like that.
Exactly. It was no firecrackers going off, that kind of no, it wasn't none of that. It was just okay. And I've always liked to sing. It's funny because when I started singing with Sylvester, my parents were not necessarily happy about that. It didn't have anything to do with him. It was me singing secular music, and they weren't happy with that. And I said, look, I'm trying something new. I'm going to do this. I said, it's not like that I'll never, ever sing gospel again in my life, because that's my foundation. I said, I'll always sing gospel. This is something new. I want to try this. I want to have not just a musical experience, but, this could be my profession. That kind of I could do this. So they got over it. And a few times they would even come to our shows when they were in auditoriums or theaters or things like that. So they supported me. They eventually wound up supporting me. But I said, look, I'll be fine. I'm not in jail. Good. I'm not doing drugs, so I'll be fine.
Yeah. I'm glad to hear that. That kind of tells me that the gospel that was in her heart was sincere. She wanted to love you through what she didn't agree with,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. They go through changes and stuff. And I understood, parents want the best for their children. I understand that. So it was like, don't worry, I'll be fine.
Yeah. Did you ever want to become a mother yourself?
Funny enough, I have always thought that I wasn't supposed to have children.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not married. I wasn't going to have children. Well, years ago. I wasn't going to go look to become pregnant just to have children, So in a way, that's why I say I guess I wasn't necessarily supposed to have children. Because if the child is supposed to be here, that child is going to be here one way or another. You know what I'm saying? But it just didn't seem like it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I was okay with it.
Good.
Yeah.
You had so many other works to do with your art.
I think I've felt sometimes there are people in the world that aren't supposed to have children for whatever reason, you know. Maybe the plan for their life would possibly distract from what they need to accomplish in life, you know, and that definitely not, definitely not for everybody. But that's been my thought over the years, that everybody is not necessarily supposed to bring children into the world.
You just said you're not married. Did you ever
Yep.
want to get married?
I had thought about it at one time, and so far the right guy has just not come along. And I haven't been out searching for him, so there you go.
Yeah.
if there's no kind of coming together, nothing's going to happen, you know.
Right. Anything else happening that you'd like to share about before we close up here? I mean, I could talk to you for a long time, but I'm always considerate of your time. Because I'll be here as long as you want.
I do a show called 10 Minutes with Martha Wash.
I've seen it.
Did you like it?
I loved it, especially the one that you did with Dorothy Moore.
Something told me you were going to say that. Something told me you were
Really?
going to say. She's just as
It's the
sweet as she
country
can
thing.
be. She is just as sweet as she can be. Yeah.
Talk about
Love
style.
the lady.
Hair.
Oh,
She's got
honey.
style. Yeah.
Beautiful hair. Beautiful hair. Yeah. She's really, really sweet. We've done some shows over the years in the UK. We were on the same bill doing some shows, and and before that, I hadn't seen her in many, many years. But she's just as sweet as she can be, and still going. She just put out a new CD.
Oh.
You know. Yep. She just put out a new CD too.
Okay, I'm gonna look for that too.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have some more episodes coming up, or some ideas for some new episodes?
We do. I think we're editing the last one for right now until we can kind of get through this pandemic, you know. But the show is fun, and it's kind of in conjunction with the magazine as well, FLOD Spotlight Magazine. And so those are the things that are keeping me busy, you know. But the magazine has been great. It's been out a couple of years now, and we've spotlighted some diverse people, which is kind of the goal, and also to highlight some people who don't get the newsworthy recognition about their careers and things like that. It's just kind of another platform to spotlight their careers and achievements, you know. So that's fun. The last person we had on that was Shabba-Doo. I don't know if a lot of people remember Shabba-Doo. He goes all the way back to Soul Train, being one of the Soul Train dancers. And, oh God, I'm trying to think of.
And he's good looking too.
Oh, he still looks great. He teaches master classes all over the world. Yeah. So he's been, I think when they brought the Soul Train Don Cornelius show back, it kind of spotlighted him again, and we reached out and did an interview with him, and that was fun. That was fun. So we've done Rich Little, we've done Paul Schaefer, Marsha Warfield. sometimes people that you haven't heard of in a long time, and you say,
I love that. Mm-hmm.
where are they? Especially with, I have to say, with Marsha Warfield, I had always wondered where she was and what she was doing.
Right.
And when we sat down and talked, I told her, I said, I would always think about you and wondered what you were doing, because it's like you just kind of fell off the map, you know, with doing her stand-up comedy and being an actress and everything. And she tells the story of how she just really walked away from show business and just put it aside and kind of lived a normal life.
Mm.
And then came back into
Mm.
the business, and now she's in Vegas at the Stratosphere working with her comedy club and stuff. So
It's so
that
interesting.
also, yeah, that also elevates, again, it elevates people to giving them a shine for their career and saying, oh, I remember them, or I hadn't heard about them in a long time. So it gives them a spotlight. It really
I
gives
like
them a
that.
spotlight. Yeah, yeah.
You're usually the one being interviewed, you know.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
And now,
yes,
and now with your show, 10 Minutes with Martha Wash, you're doing the
yes,
interviewing. What is it like being
yeah.
on the other side?
Uh, easier. Easier.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. It's fun. If I can't say that, no.
You know,
Well,
that's what I
because
want to hear.
no, I can't. I'm not. No, I'm not gonna say that. Um, it's fun. It's fun because I'm meeting some people that I know and some people that I don't know. But that's kind of the fun in meeting people for the first time and in reading their stories and asking them questions about their, you know, their lives and their accomplishments and you know, things that they want to do or things that they haven't done that they'd like to do. So it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
We hope to keep this going. We really do hope to keep this going. Initially, it was, as far as the 10 Minutes with Martha Wash was concerned, initially the show was going to be basically about me and promoting my music.
Mm-hmm.
That's another way to, you know, promote your music and what you're doing. But then we wanted to bring in a guest, but the show itself was only supposed to be really 10 minutes.
I knew you were going to say it.
Well, it's grown
Uh-huh.
and we're at 30 minutes and sometimes 45 minutes, but we try to condense it into 30 minutes. And we've actually won a couple of awards for our episodes. So that's really
Congratulations.
been nice. Yeah, that's really been nice. And we've been doing this a couple of years as well. So it's nice to be recognized. I mean, that wasn't the goal. It was really kind of totally by surprise that we won these awards. But it's kind of like, for me, the little engine that could. You know, you just keep chugging along, and you
Right.
never know where you can go with it. You know, we're on YouTube, but we also are on Brick TV in New York. We're in DC, Roku, Comcast. You know, so hopefully, and we'll be going
That's
to
great.
Las Vegas to do episodes on some particular channels in Las Vegas. So it's really been nice. Really, really been nice. And I really do have to thank James Washington, the executive producer, for putting all this stuff together, and, you know, business partners and stuff, and pushing me forward, I'll say, really pushing me forward into things sometimes that you can kind of feel uncomfortable about or not sure about, but you kind of take the plunge anyway to see where it goes, see what you accomplish or can accomplish when you're not quite sure. So I think the essence of that is try as many things as you can, as you want to, and see where you can go, because you might surprise yourself.
What was one of your fears when you started creating your new show, 10 Minutes with Martha Wash? Did you have any big fears?
Not really, no, not really big fears. I can't say that. Because we were just kind of, it was, sometimes it was really kind of on the job training. You know, you were really, really learning as you go along, you know. So now we kind of know how we want things and the time that it's going to take. And so we've kind of got a template for how our shows should go.
Yeah.
So it's in the on the job training is really where you learn and how to make things work. So when you kind of pull it all together, it's like, okay, it's set. This is what we need to do. This is how this should formulate, you know.
Who's on the bucket list for a guest? If you could pick anybody to be your guest on your show, who would it be?
Well, I've been in talks with comedian George Wallace. He's always been kind of a favorite of mine over the years, and we've reached out to him. So when things kind of settle back down again, I'm going to hook up with him because he said he would do it.
Yeah.
So that's one. We've had a few different people in mind. James was saying to reach out to General Colin Powell. See if we could get an interview. Yeah, see if we could get an interview with him. I mean, the field is really open. Mm-hmm. The field is really open. The other person just has to say yay or nay.
Right.
You know. And we make it where it's really just having a chat. You know, nothing hard, nothing strenuous, and make it easy in, you know, for them as possible.
Yeah.
And I think when people aren't feeling uptight about the interview, that makes them feel more comfortable and I guess more easier to answer questions.
When you're interviewed, what do you think is the most common misconception about you?
When I'm interviewed, I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure about that.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
It seems like sometimes people get this idea of who we are as people from a few of our accomplishments or things that they've personally witnessed us doing as people. Mm-hmm. And then they know you for that. Is there something that you'd like to be known for that people don't really know you for?
No. No. I'm a very easygoing person. Mm-hmm. You know. I always say I can get along with anybody.
Okay.
If you let me.
Okay. Yeah. I love that.
If you let me, I can get along with anybody.
Yeah. What are some things that make it impossible for you to get along with somebody?
Oh. I want to say people to get on my nerves. People to get on my nerves. I have to say that.
Yeah. What type of people do you like to surround yourself with?
I try. I try. No, I try not to let people get on my nerves. But I'm actually thinking that as I chronologically advance, I'll say,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I don't have time for the BS,
Mm-hmm.
like
Right.
like I used to. It's like,
Right.
no, no,
Uh-huh.
I can't. I won't. I'm at this point in my life. I don't care. I'm gonna no, no, no.
Who do you want to surround yourself with? Who do you like to surround yourself with now?
Nobody,
Yeah.
nobody.
Uh-huh. I get it. It's that balance thing again, maybe, because you're around so many people.
Well, you know what? Actually, I've always been kind of a loner,
Mm-hmm.
and that's from as a child. I'm the youngest in my family, so everybody else was grown, gone, much, much older, that kind of thing. And so it was just me left, at the house. So I've always been kind of a loner, more introverted than extroverted,
There
you know.
must be some benefits that come from that. Do you think you can recognize any benefits that come from being a loner?
Yeah, it keeps you out of other people's BS,
Mm.
I'll say, you know,
Yeah.
because you don't want to get involved. And during this thing that we're going with, that we're going through, I'm okay. There's some that have had really hard times dealing with this and being away from others and that kind of thing. I'm okay.
I think that says a lot about you.
I'll There's some people that will probably kind of agree. I can live with me. You know,
Mm.
I'm okay with me.
Yeah. What more can you say than that? That's everything. That is everything. Wow. That means a lot.
Yeah.
I wish more
And
people were.
everybody can't say that. And I
Right.
don't know if that has to go with all the way back to being a child or what. But I'm okay with me. Good, bad, or indifferent. I can live with me. I'm okay.
Mm. I love that. It feels good.
Yeah.
Would
Yeah.
you tell me something that you're very, very proud of yourself about?
I would say probably having the record label, Purple Rose Records. I'm
Mm-hmm.
proud of that. In that, when I started, again, it was to showcase my music. I wasn't signed with the record company. It's been, what is it, 2020? I've had the label 15 years now. And again, it was to showcase my music initially, because no label would sign me. And so, okay, I'm saying I'll just put out my own music on my label. Well, all the music that I've done for the last 15 years has been on Purple Rose Records. But now, within the last 5 years, um, I have produced First Ladies of Disco as an act. Right now, it's myself, Linda Clifford, and Norma Jean Wright from Chic. And previously, we had Evelyn Champagne King. And that is an act of beautiful, talented, legendary ladies that come together and do a show. But we've also recorded as well. We recorded some singles that have charted in the top 10 and on Billboard dance music charts. So that's
I've been
been
enjoying
great.
them.
That's been great as well. So I'm proud of that. The Ritchie family, who had major hits back in the 80s, they really never went anywhere, but they had not recorded in quite a few decades. Well, we released a single on them that also charted on Billboard dance charts.
Wow.
So that's been really, really great because as we're called kind of heritage artists, I'm proud of that.
Yes.
These are artists that are still working and making music, but it's not being heard on mainstream radio. My music is not even being heard on mainstream radio. So we're trying to find ways to let people know that we're still here. We're still viable artists that are still out there working and making a living and making music, good music, you know,
Yes.
that people can enjoy. You know, so I am proud of that, and we're still growing as well. We're going to have more artists, more songwriters as well. So that's been, again, with that push from James Washington, it's been really, really good to keep moving and keep growing. Whereas everybody can kind of get their shot at being heard. I understand there's a whole lot of thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of indie artists that want to get their music heard and want to become the one, you know, that people love to hear. And that does not happen for most of those artists.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can find a place where you can gain new fans, it will help you grow your audience. Whereas maybe sometime in the future, you never know, you may be the one, you know. But in the meantime, you're still putting out the music. You're still uh, uh, garnering new fans, and that's what it's about in the business, and enjoying what you're doing.
Well, I know you're doing that. You've told me, and you've created a fan base all around the world, and
Yeah.
especially in the LGBT community, and you're so supportive of that. What type of responsibilities, if any, do you feel by being a representative of the LGBT community?
I think what's happened, it's just grown over the years, over the decades, I'll say. I've always been an ally. You know, I've always felt that everyone needs to be treated equally under the law, and I still think that, and I will always think that. It doesn't matter who you are, uh, how you subscribe to your gender or anything. Everybody has to be treated equally. Else, this will never be a united States of America. I just call it States of America because we aren't united. And until we can do that, until we can recognize one another as people, you know, then we'll never be united. So I always stood and always will continue to stand with the LGBTQ community.
We're so proud to have you stand with us.
Yeah.
Thank you
Always.
so much. It's an honor.
Thank
Truly.
you.
Well, I can't truly, sincerely thank you enough for giving me your time. I don't take it for granted. I think it's really important for me to connect with someone of your depth and your soul and experience. It enriches my life. And
I appreciate that. I've always said I'm just a working girl.
well, you prove it. Prove it too. You don't just say it, you prove it.
Thanks.
Take care of yourself. And I look forward to seeing everything you're doing, and I'm watching. So remember that, I'm watching.
It was you watch it, huh? I appreciate that.
Enjoy it.
You be safe too, all right?
I will. You take care.
All right, darling, you too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.